That's not very loud. Maybe that's why Caleb was so quiet. All right, so something I wanted to point out real quick. On Thursday, I was on campus leaving Calculus 3, and I saw the giant marketplace was open, and I went in and I said, hey, I'm a teacher here. Can I film what it's like in here? Because COS has a place where you can go in and get some, not a lot, but some groceries for the month, like toothpaste, toothbrush, shit like that. If you're struggling with finances or something like that, it can be a real boon. And it's not in the center of campus. It's over on is that Meadow and Mooney? It's right there. So you're not you don't have to walk across campus carrying a bag of groceries. No one likes to look poor, right? No one likes to look that way. But there are a lot of people and there's nothing wrong with it. It's income. Okay, so I went in and recorded a video. This is in your orientation module. I put a link to it and a link to my walkthrough. I made sure I didn't film anybody that was in there. So they have a lot of resources. If you need some extra resources to make sure you can focus more on school and less about food and stuff like that, check it out. All right. I'm sure that beeping is you.
Yeah.
Where are we? Module 3, we're doing linked lists. We're going to start doubly linked lists today. We're going to reference this in a little bit. What I've done is I've went and I've copied my code from our last lecture day. Okay? Because we're going to use our node thing, but we're going to comment out our linked list class and build it up what we need. Okay? So copy over your previous one, and it's the one that is stored. Oh, here we go. Lecture day 8, singly linked list part 2. That's the one I have uploaded right now. That's where I'm starting, yeah.
Well, can you go back and stuff you're looking for? I'm sorry.
It's in the lecture notes spring module. It's what we had before. And while I'm here, while I have this, why don't I go and look at what we've got? Abel, Baker, Jones, Smith, Wilson. I'm going to write this down over here real quick. Abel, Baker. Ooh, we have a box afterwards. We have a box before. Baker. I think we had Jones in here. We have Smith here. And we have Wilson. I started doing what I should have done. So notice on a doubly linked list, not only are we going forwards, but we're going backwards. So we have not only next node, but previous node. And it might be handy just abbreviate it with the same amount of letters, do prev node. Okay. So let's see, what do I want to do here? What? MF, you're right, there ain't nothing there. Ain't no one said shit till now, thank you.
I didn't know if it was just me. It's probably just me. I'll just reloading. I'm like, oh. I reloaded like 5 times already. I'm like, control. Oh. I didn't realize that it was that for everyone.
There you go. Control Shift what? I don't need to macro that shit. I right clicking and doing plain text was quicker than fucking and easier than remembering the command sequence. All right. Oh shit. And this says lecture day 9. This should say lecture day 8. It says doubly linked list. This is what we're adapting. I'll fucking change that later. All right. So where are we at? What we were saying is let's go up to the top. And where were the 24th? And we needed a previous pointer. That's the new thing we're adding. Okay. Why do I have all that shit already in there? Oh, to speed things up a little bit, I set up the set previous pointer, get previous pointer, but I don't know that I populated them yet. So on line 14 and then line 27, 28, we have our information on previous pointer. Let's go down and see if we have it listed anywhere. We're going to comment out our linked list and
You already said the previous topic.
what?
You already said it. Like you said always down as well.
Shit, that's the wrong one. That says CSCI Spring 20. That's it. Go back.
Oh, I just
I'm fucking up. Let's try this again.
True. It's human nature. Double. Double.
Okay, I'm changing that screen again real quick. That's the old one. It shouldn't have had all that shit in there. That's what we're building today. Control what? Say it.
Control A to select all.
It does it there too. Okay, good.
I remember I told you about the control A the first time, like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but
And you were like, oh my God, what is
I use it in this all the time, but it didn't dawn on me. It works over in Canvas as well.
I don't know why. I thought you could do that when you didn't do any comments when
That's the old one.
that's the old one.
No, I'm talking to myself. Sorry. Let's try this again. Create a new project. Empty. All right. Now I've copied and pasted what we got. Now let's go look what we got. All right. So we need to add a previous pointer. Let's change this to say doubly linked list. And you know what? I'm going to move that all down today and add in. I liked what I had on the previous one, where I had a comment about what this title was. All right. So we got our node class. We're going to add a node previous. That's in a private section, and we need to set up 2 new accessor methods. And I'm just going to copy the set and get for next and change that to say set and get for previous. And come down here, we gotta populate it. We've got our, I'm coming down at the very bottom of the code. And change set previous and get previous. And since previous pointer is a thing, we're going to say previous pointer equals arg pointer. And return previous pointer, since we've made those as our two variables, or our new variable. Okay. So now what do we need to do to modify everything else? A lot of shit changes. So let's make a new, you know what? I'm going to copy. I'm going to cut the node implementation and put it at the top of the implementations, just so that singly linked list is at the bottom. Because we're going to make a new set of linked list implementations for Doubly. So we're going to make some Doubly linked lists.
So you just need two new ones, you need one for get and set.
Yep. And I just copied the next and changed next to say previous.
Did you add anything to the projects?
I added a previous pointer.
I'm sorry, I was just, you're looking at what you're doing when you put the first part.
Are you good now? Everyone ready? All right. So let's take a look at what we have here. We're probably going to want elements of all of these, but let's build it a little bit at a time. We probably want constructors that might look very similar. So I'm going to copy this real quick. Well, let's just copy that part. We can copy the void set head and get head too. The other ones are going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to make a doubly linked list class real quick. And we're just going to, maybe we'll just call it double list. And this has to be renamed to double list. And those are the ones we need to have. Let's go in and copy those from double and adapt those first. So I'm going to minimize that one. Why does that not like it? Who knows? Expected a semicolon where, you piece of shit? Can you be a little more specific?
You need it at the end of the curly brackets, I think.
There we go. All right. So we have these. We're going to go down and copy our constructors and our set head, get head from singly linked list, which hopefully are in order. They are. They're the first 5 there. So I'm going to copy these, put them in my doubly linked list section, and we got to go through and change the name. This is just to speed up doing a little bit of work. Because those don't need to, well, the head, set head and get head don't need to change. And I don't think any of that needs to change.
So you need a copy of all the existing get and sets?
Yeah. What might need to change is our constructor for node. Because now node has, let me, before I run off and change it, all I did is copy them and rename them double. Now, new node should have had a previous or has a next pointer. It has a previous pointer now too. So we probably need to edit our constructors for node to include setting previous pointer. So I'm going to go up to my node constructors. And for each of these, I'll do a set previous PTR. It should be the null pointer on each of these as well for the constructor. Okay. And now let's just make sure everything's working. Anyone need me to go to a specific spot?
I don't think there's nothing I can do. So did you just copy everything from the single list?
No, I just copied the constructors,
And the get code?
set and get head. Because we're going to build the other ones up because they're different. Each one's different. So like, if we try to copy them all, we have to fix them all before any of it will run. And that's a fucking pain in the ass. So we copied, let's get the constructor working. Once the constructor's working, which has set head and get head, once that's working, we'll add a node. Once that's working, we can start looking at adding a node in the middle, but it goes, we got to do it one step at a time, like we did the first time. And rather than trying to do the whole list all at once and copy or like edit the entire list at once, that's a train wreck waiting to happen. That's like trying to change Mona Lisa's face. If it's a puzzle piece, you have a puzzle and it's like Mona Lisa's face, and then you want to change it to someone else's face entirely. You got to go through and edit each single puzzle piece to make it look like someone else's face. And then you got to make sure they all interlock well. No, we're going to just restart from scratch. Paint a new Mona Lisa and then fucking turn it into a puzzle. All right. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but that's what I came up with. So we've got node next, previous. I should be able to come in here into here. Let's comment out this part because we don't need it. For now, no. That was our old stuff.
So then we're going to
In fact, our new node should have able in it
only 8. Okay.
because that was the dude's first. When we look at this thing right here, Abel was the guy's first name or last name. And now we're going to say double list. My double. My D list. And we'll pass in head pointer. Oops. Maybe it doesn't, maybe calling it double list is not a good idea. What's wrong here? It doesn't say SL list anymore.
I think the P needs to be capitalized.
That's exactly what it is. It also had something on the double part that was bitchy about. All right. And we're going to come down here and we're going to say double list, right? Or my DL list. Now we can test it to make sure we've got Print starting at head.
What's the thing we're next to do this? Can you go through that? Or we just had one?
We're just doing the constructor.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. This will be a multi-day event. This is more challenging. As challenging as singly linked with list was, this is now add your square that. I don't know if it's squaring that because the hardest part of the linked list is identifying the chain. And now like going backward on the chain isn't too bad. It's when you're trying to add or delete something in the middle that you really got to stop and go, I got to make sure I don't fucking break the chain. I got to make sure that new links are forged before I do anything. Hopefully that works. There we go. So our constructor works fine. Our new pointer set up fine. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to look at what we had here. We had push back node. That was add node. So I'm going to copy that and put that in my doubly linked list set. And now we got to go down and make one. So all I did is copy pushback node from singly linked list and added it to doubly linked list. I'm going to go copy the singly linked list one and we can look at how we need to adapt it. Doing these one at a time. We want push back. Yeah. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put this in my doubly linked list session. You know what? I want to be able to find this easier. So this is what Clever Girl does. There we go. Now when I'm scrolling, a big bar of green should show up. All right. I copied my pushback node up here. I need to change it to call it double. And now let's come over and look at the paper and see what's going on when we start our sequence here. So I have, starting from scratch, able is like this. So we're going to create a new node with Baker. So step one is a new node for Baker. And we need to assign temp or assign the next pointer, set next pointer. Maybe we should call this temp wherever we're at. So temp set next pointer. We'll set that to our new node. In fact, maybe we'll do the new node there. In fact, we might actually have it that way. We do. Temp pointer set next pointer new node. We do have that. Now that does this. We need to do this. We need to connect the chain. So from temp's position, without changing temp, it might be easier to go temp, get next, PTR. We want to, that will get us that one. So this is temp, get next, PTR. And we want to do set previous pointer on this one to, it looks like temp, where temp's at. So this is temp, get next pointer. And to do this one, we need to do set previous pointer to temp on that one. So we got to figure out how we're going to do that when we get them over here and like start plugging it in. We got to, what part of that do we already have? We have it cycling through to the end here. And set next pointer is new node. We've got that. Now we need to do the set previous. So we got temp PTR. I want to get next pointer, so I'm working with that one. And I want to do set previous. Is that going to let me do it? No. I gotta do that. Set previous pointer to temp. Temp PTR. Will that work? Does that follow what we have on our picture? So get next pointer gets us this one. So temp get next pointer is pointing at Baker's. And we want that one. We want to set previous pointer. The green arrow going backwards is our set previous. We want to set it, and our pointer is currently pointed at temp. That's where we want it to go. I think that might work. So it looks like all we had to add was line 214 right here. Does that make sense? Because I can show it another way.
So you make it a temp pointer that is going to set pointer, right? And then it's a new node of already item.
So I could do something like this. I could also make a node. I'll call it next. Nope. Temp 2. We'll just compare. We'll call it temp PTR for now. And when I get down here, what I'm doing is I'm saying temp 2 equals temp PTR dot get next. And then right here, I could say that's making pictorially. That's calling this one here temp 2. And then I could say temp 2 set next. Or sorry, set previous. To temp PTR. So line 217 does line 215 and 216 in a single step. Does that make sense? If I have 2 pointers, it's really important that it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, say something. I've got temp pointing to my last node. I got temp 2 now pointing to my new node. And I say temp 2's previous node is temp. That make sense? Doing this eliminates the middleman because effectively I'm saying temp 2 equals this. I can copy this and put this right here and replace temp 2 right there. And now notice I have the line right below it. So I'm going to undo that change right there. I'm going to comment those out real quick just so that they're there for looking at later on. And I'm going to say This next line combines the previous two into a single line. Let's come up and implement that. Let's test it with Baker. Baker was our next one. So we got my DL list, my D list dot pushback. And we're sending in a string, we're sending in Baker. Is that what I'm sending in? Yeah, just a string. Okay. Carlos, are you good? That doesn't sound like you're good.
I use that stuff because I'm choking a vaccine copy the tail as well. The get tail into the.
Yeah, just don't deal with it. Comment it out for now. This should print Able and Baker now when we run it. Good. Is everyone okay with that so far? So we can complete our list real quickly, theoretically, by just entering these in real quick. Oh. So I just did the next four names in the sequence. I'm gonna run it. Okay. So we have it. And now what could be the next thing that we want to add? Let's go look at our singly linked list and go, what's the next one we want to add? I think we needed find to do push middle, didn't we? So maybe we should do our find node next. Wait, find node is, yeah, we need a find node here. So let's go down and find our singly linked list find node. And if you put in the extra lines of code like I did, the asterisk lines, you will find it at 251. If not, it's probably a little bit before 251. Let's copy that up and add it to our doubly linked list section. And we're gonna call this double list. And we're gonna go through it, and I gotta do it up to top too. In fact, let me go do that real quick because it's gonna be a moody pain in the ass. We're copying node find node up to our doubly linked list. And we were at where I pasted was 220-ish. There we go. I don't know that this one actually needed any changing because this just cycled through. As long as it has a node, it just cycles through until it finds it. It's fine. So I think our doubly, like making a double on our find node is going to work. Doesn't look like there's anything we need to change because we're never changing any part of our previous or anything like that. We're just tracking something down by jumping through the chain one at a time. And I don't think that sequence changes. So let's go grab push middle. Push middle was the bitch. So right now my push middle is at 300. And I'm going to go put it before my push front. So I'm at line 284 there. Let me go prototype it up top. Push middle. All right, let's come down. Let's think about what we gotta do. And this one's tricky, so we're going back to the paper. So right now, what I have is if I go to the middle, I have Jones here. And I'm gonna put a gap in because Jones and Smith, there's a lot of letters between that. Smith is over here. And right now, Jones is pointing to that one, and Smith is pointing to that one. Dude, Juan's such a fool. Did he just come in and bring food and leave it?
He said he's been bought.
That was very kind of him. I'm hungry. Oh shit, he's back already. So let's immortalize Juan. We want to put Juan in there.
They're bringing back one. He's back. I mean, like into the.
Oh, let's do Padawan.
I don't. Someone was looking at my food.
Padawan, J or P is between J and S. We're gonna do Padawan.
I can just leak it.
I threatened to, but I didn't. So it's clear we need a new node with Juan. And that's probably, if we get temp to here, let's say we get temp up to Jones through using find Jones. We'll find Jones. Right? I know it's not called find, there was more to it, but we're going to find Jones. And then we're going to say temp is that one. So we're at Jones. Then we do a new node for Padawan. We'll give it a capital J there. We're going to do a new node for Padawan. And that's got to be, this is going to be the temp set next PTR like we had before. So we need to do that one. We need to do temp. Oh, sorry. We need to do Smith's set previous. I'm going to make a list of them because the order we do them in is very much going to matter. And then we're going to do Padawan next. And we need to do Padawan previous. So let's go through and figure out which ones of these are going to be where. We're doing, we got 4 arrows to connect. Let's call this 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So not like knowing this, we have to have the ability to go backwards by doing a set previous.
Yeah, we'll be able to go back through a chain. In fact,
The only thing I'm a little confused is the previous pointer is just a return of a pointer, right? Which is a pointer of a
no, previous pointer is just a variable. It doesn't return shit. It's a return. It stores the address of the previous node. Just like next PTR stores the address of the next node, previous pointer stores the address of the previous node. Now our set and get access those. So we're here. Well, right now this is where we started. If I go in the order I have, if I change this one, I lose access to Smith, don't I? From where I'm at. So this one actually can't be first. If I do Smith, set previous pointer right now, I can actually do that. I can lead with that one. So let's call that one number 1. We'll call that one number 1. Set next or Smith's set previous pointer. So maybe this is like if I called this temp 2, We're gonna bypass the temp two. Well, maybe we'll put the temp two in and then we'll shortcut it.
So would the preferred, line be, I'm sorry, you said tomorrow. Okay.
I didn't say you couldn't interrupt. I said, if you're asking about what we're doing, what's your question?
Never mind. I was gonna say like, wouldn't 2, 4, wouldn't it go from 2 to then 4?
Well, let's check. Let's see. If I do that first, that one's done. Let's get that line of code in there. And just like I did, look, we got found equals find new node. And temp PTR is going to be our new node. And what did I do with push front? That's my singly linked list. I mean, where's my doubly linked list? Doubly linked list, my push back, I did a temp two. I'm going to do that real quick on this one, and we can trim it. Did I not paste it yet? I didn't. I want to copy that. Go up to doubly linked list. Did I have this anywhere? No, I didn't. So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to call it double. And now I want to put in that node temp two. So temp two is going to be found here, because that way it's pointing at our. Okay, so let me relabel what I got on my picture here. So that's not temp, this is found. And this currently is temp two also. And we want to redirect temp two over to that one real quick. So that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna say temp two equals found dot get next. Okay, now we've got found at Jones and temp two at Smith. Found's at Jones, temp two's at Smith.
So found is now being pointed at. Right?
Found is at Jones. Temp two is at Smith.
It does not make it now point to Jones though, they now make it come to point.
No, it goes in order. In fact, I could very much combine this into one thing.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Let's do that. Let's combine that into one step.
I didn't see the one underneath it actually.
What?
Good stuff.
And so now we said the first thing we want to do is temp two set previous. That's going to be our new node item, which is temp PTR. So this was connect link one, chain link one in our picture. And so now this is gone. It might be. Which one do you guys want to try next?
I think I have one for this that goes back to Jones.
Let's do that. So found set previous. Wait, I need to do this in the order that I had. found dot set previous is gonna give us to temp. Nope, found. Not found. That's changing that one. We don't want to change that one's previous. We changed temp twos. We want to change temp PTR set previous to found. So this is temp PTR. So we want to change temp PTR's set previous to Jones, which is at found. Right? That just establishes this is doing Padawan's previous. That one's doing this one next. So we did this, and that doesn't actually get rid of any previous connection. So nothing gets crossed off there. And we still have, we've got Jones is linking to Smith. And Smith backwards is leading to Padawan. Padawan backwards is leading to Jones. Now we need to do the forward sequence. So let's do, where are we at? Temp PTR is the middle one. We're going to do temp PTR's set next PTR is going to be temp 2, right?
So what's being confused a little bit is what's our item? Which one is the our item?
Our item is Padawan. It's our new node.
Okay, so that starts with Padawan, then it.
So pictorially, that's the one in the middle. It's the one we're adding.
Okay. And the fine text is just Jones, so we're just setting found as Jones and just like the first two. Like after.
We've done Smith to Padawan and Padawan to Jones.
I'm just really looking at the whole thing from.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So we're gonna do set next PTR. And we said we're passing in temp 2. Which is, I'm gonna comment out that line for a second. And that is connecting pictorially. So that was 2. This is doing temp PTR is right here. That's doing this one right here. Right? And now if we want to do the final one, we want to do, that was Padawan's next. That was 3. We still need to do that one. And that found is our temp. And we're setting next to our temp PTR. That's actually what we already have. That's the line we already have. So this is line 4. I think that's going to work. Let's go up and test it. And then we'll look at refactoring it. My D list dash push middle now. And we want to push Padawan. And we have to put it after our text to be found. And so, or before that, and we're going to put it after Jones.
Can you go all the way down again? I'm sorry. I'm trying to clean up your I'm down. I'm a little confused, but I think I'm understanding this and just the code was everyone was a little confused.
I wasn't moving the code for a long ass time.
No, I mean like I was reading. I'm sorry, I was confused. I was trying to understand.
Okay.
The part. I'm sorry. I do.
If you have a question, maybe other people have questions. What are your questions? This is the hardest, like I said, this is the hardest one to do. What is your question?
Well, I was originally a little bit confused about like
Not originally. What are you confused about now?
now.
Let's not do the time cycle here.
So right now, I don't think I'm confused anymore. Now that I'm looking at it and understanding it more. Like,
So I can go? Okay. Okay, so. We're going to run this and try to see Padawan shows up between Jones and, shit. So let's see, line 345 and 309. Did I put it in twice? It says line 345 and 309 on mine. Why is 309 a problem? Since we've changed node, push middle isn't going to work for singly list. Let's comment this out. Comment out singly list, linked list, push middle. And that means we got to comment out its prototype. Right now, since we added a previous pointer, apparently singly linked list, it's fucking mad about something on line 309. And 309 was my singly linked list push middle. Oh, I pasted it twice. That's why. Never mind. Let's go put the prototype back in. I had it pasted twice. I'm betting this is when Carlos asked me a question and I hadn't finished changing it and I got sidetracked. Do not apologize. I know you want to. I'm going to go down and I'm going to delete the 309 section. That was all extraneous shit because I already did it. Let's hope that just getting rid of that fixed it.
So,
There it was. Padawans between Jones and Smith. Now let's go see if we can refactor it so we're not creating as many nodes as we did. God damn it. All right, so we're going to go to our double linked list, push middle. Temp 2 is found get next PTR. So can I do this? I'm going to leave this line in commented out. But instead of having found or temp 2, I'm going to do found. I'm going to replace it with what I had, get next. The fuck are you doing? Get next. So I'm just where temp 2 was, I'm replacing it with get next PTR. And this line, can I do it without making temp 2? By doing temp PTR set next PTR to found dot get next. And if I do that, will that put it in the right spot? So I've eliminated the creation of temp 2. What's your question, Carlos?
No, it's just what it's doing.
That worked. Why did output get detached? View output. That's gonna be annoying. And then I want to restart it. All right. Where are we at? What do we got up here? Push middle is working now. Let's check push front. So we're gonna copy push front up into doubly linked list. And we're gonna go down and we're gonna copy, where is it on my current list right now? Push front is around 300 for me, 313. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna put that up in my doubly linked list section. And we're gonna call it double and we're gonna see what needs to be changed. So let's go to the picture and see what happens when we have a new node. So right now we have able is right here. And it has a previous pointer of that. And right now it's got this going on to bake. And what do we want to do? The goal here. Oh, we have a member of the class that has a name that is before able. We're going to put Aaron in front. So this is going to be our new node here. This is our head node, right? Our current head node. All right, so what we want to do, we probably want to do set head last. We probably want to call set head last. Because right now, Aaron starts off with this. So we need to connect these two. And it doesn't matter which order we do it. If this is called temp, I could just say head set previous to temp. And I could say temp set next to head. And then reset head. Does that work? Head set previous, that's doing this one, and then relabeling this as head for part 3. I don't think we break any of our chains.
Wait, how does the third one set the first one to head now? How do you set?
Because set head takes in a pointer. Like when I say last, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say set head equal, pass in temp.
Oh, okay.
It reassigns the label because head is just a pointer. So set head will reassign the pointer to that one, which is what we want to do.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Found is the front one is one of the easier ones. So what do we have here? We said we got our temp PTR. That's our Aaron. This is our Aaron pointer. And we said we wanted to do, I don't think it mattered which order we did it in. Temp pointer, set next pointer. So this make Aaron's next equal able. And we need to do the head, get head, set previous to temp PTR. So this sets Abel's previous equal to Aaron, and this one makes Aaron head.
So we just have to switch the code from like our link list. We have to switch one.
This only had one change, didn't it? And the one at the end only had one change too. The one in the middle is really the trickiest one. Let's see if that worked. Imagine trying to do these all at once. You're just gonna error. I'm pushing in Aaron. Look at that. Isn't that a beaut? All right. What else do we got to add? And can we get it done in 10 minutes?
Obviously, that's not too far, that's too bad.
What?
So, the only one,
Aaron was at the top of the list.
I would say too far. So you said like in the last table.
Where did my fucking thing go? What?
Where are you
We were
saying?
doing push front. We did push last or push. When I wrote last, I meant last step that we did, not push it to the last place. Say that again? It doesn't look like it because we've been printing fine. Now, if we want to print backwards, then we can do that. Let's put that on the list of shit we're gonna do on Wednesday. In fact, let's make a note of that. We'll put a note right of that right now. Shit for Wednesday. Maybe I'll be proper and say stuff to do for Wednesday. We're gonna do, let's make a print backwards list. Or if I have a print backwards list, adapt it. So that's on our stuff to do. What else did we have on our singly linked list? We've done everything but pop and get tail and a destructor. So let's do pop. I'm gonna copy it from singly linked list. And I'm gonna go down here and find it. It's probably near my bottom. There it is. For me, it's line 397. I'm grabbing it from. Yours is probably in that area. Structure in a second. We're going up. So we got, instead of SL list, double list. Okay, right now our pop node is not pop node at the end. It's pop node anywhere. So we need to undo what we just did. Let's delete Padawan. Vader got him. Padawan's getting deleted.
Is Vader killing kids again?
Yeah,
Juan is not a child. Where's, okay. So right now we have,
I said Vader. I was saying, because Vader killed a lot of Padawans. Wow.
His successor.
No, okay, I think my joke was not understood.
we've got Padawan there. And since since he's so perfect, we're gonna get rid of him. No one likes perfect people. Smith was next. No, yeah, Smith was next.
You should add Vader.
Well, that's it. One, we can add Vader. Go ahead. Push back Vader. That's easy. Then he's at the end. Or put him after Smith. There's your challenge for you. So let's kill off Padawan. So first thing we need to do is we need to find him, right? Step one, find Padawan. So we've been doing found is shit like that. Found is going to be find node Padawan. So found is pointed here right now. Before we delete any of found's connections going outward, I think we need to change the other ones, because we need to redirect Smith to Jones, and we need to redirect Jones to Smith. Can we do that from found's point of view? So like Smith, I'm off screen. Smith is found dot get next, right? Smith is there. And Jones is found dot get previous. So what I want to do is, this is kind of awkward. We want to say found's next previous's pointer. Found's next previous pointer, which I'll call this as one right there. That's found's next previous pointer. We want to redirect that to found previous, which we'll call this one right there.
So what we're doing
Nope,
is-
that's not that one. It's that one. So I want this one to be that one in terms of arrows. That will, if I call this A, that makes this step A.
So what I'm understanding, I'm sorry, but, so what you're saying is we're making it found next pointer. Dot previous pointer?
Yeah, this is found. Found's next pointer is Smith. And we want Smith's previous pointer to be Jones, because we're going to get rid of Padawan. So the idea is to get rid of Juan. Or Juan. So we want to get rid of Juan, so we need to make Smith point to Jones. And Jones is found previous. That does A. And then for part B, what do we want to do for part B? It's kind of like the reverse. We want to go founds previous. Founds previous next PTR.
So now, what I'm just asking, because this is what I'm understanding, is now we're making Jones next pointer going to be Smith, correct?
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
full on just deletes Padawan who's no
Well,
connected to it.
Well, it doesn't delete Padawan's connections, but yes, it does pass the chain around him. Padawan's still connected, but he's no longer in the chain if we do this correct. So founds, this is founds, previous is, next PTR is currently like this one right there. We want that to be this one right here, which would be founds next PTR. All right. So found, next, set previous. Right? Found, next, set. That's what this is. Found, get next, set previous. And we want to set that to found previous or found get previous in terms of code. Think that's going to work. The hell is this doing in here? If temp, which is head, equals found. Now that's okay. We're in the else loop. Why this seems irrelevant? This seems, let's get rid of that shit. Let me just comment it out. Am I in the double section? Yeah, I'm in the double section. All right, so what we said is we want found dot get next dot set previous. Oops, I gotta do parentheses. And I want to pass in found dot get previous. And then we said found dot get previous. We want that one's next PTR to be found's next PTR. So those two lines make the chain go around Padawan. Well, first we put you in, then we put you, now we're wrapping the chains around you, but we haven't really done what we said we were going to do.
At least he's not neutering.
What we want, well, now we're going to neuter him. Now we want found's connections. We're going to take found's next PTR. We're going to set it to null. We want to make Juan lose all of his friends here. Found set previous to null PTR. And if that's not enough, here we spell the final doom for Juan. For Padawan. You're just Juan, so this is clearly not you.
I'm gonna let it go because even in the end, I'm still sacrificing my time. I come out a hero in the end, but
Is that what it is?
it's all good. I don't know.
Is that going to work? The logic seemed pretty good. And notice, oh, I already deleted it. Let's see. We had temp set next PTR to found get next PTR. We did some shit like that. That was right here. I've got set next PTR to found get next. I've got that right here. We're just changing what we started with. So we're starting with found, not temp. I think this is going to work. I think, well, now we haven't technically killed off one yet until we come up here and we pop him. We're going to pop him. We do not want to call it neuter node. Although we want to pop Padawan.
I don't know why I'm laughing so much at that joke. It really isn't funny. Not that funny. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Padawan's gone.
I found fun.
We need to look at pop more because I don't know if it's going to work for head. Notice when we looked at head, let's go back to find the double list pop node. pop node had its own information for head. Actually, it might work. We're gonna set head to temp next BTR. That's working. So we need. So if we off Aaron, we need to make Abel's previous. We need to do get head, set previous to null. Because right now, Abel is pointing at Aaron. If we kill off Aaron, Abel's pointing at something that doesn't exist. So that's the one thing we needed to add. So Aaron is head. We set head to Abel. We have to make this a null pointer. And then we can get rid of head. Head is now no longer part of the chain. I think that's going to work. I think we can pop Aaron now. I think that's all it took. Let's come up here and try to pop Aaron. What am I doing? And Aaron has been popped. So we still, that class is over. I gotta let you guys go. We're gonna do the print backwards list. We need to do the destructor. And I think the destructor might be easier, or the print backwards might be easier if we have the get tail. You just immediately start at the end of the sequence. Which means making a tail, which means make a tail. And then we'll look at doing some other cleanup and stuff and see what else we want to add to this. All right. Peace.
I know this is. Class,